Council. Nancy Walsh on Grove Street. This is a bit of blue sky. I quickly shot off here, so hopefully it'll make sense somehow. So first, let me say that I believe that this report has been made intentionally complex, and I agree that it's with the council member. Maybe it was Council Member Goss previous meeting to lump these three items together, unless the goal is to baffle people, which I think it is. The organization chart is really a plan for curtailment chart, and it tells quite a story. I thought some folks from the library would be here, but the IT staff is relocated to administration because the city needs IT should they decide to cut the library. So things were tidied up, and it looked to me like some dollars were used to figure this out. In other words, we only need $700,000 over here from the library, so we'll bring down the director item and level things out and bring the salary back into administration, which will be used to pay for salaries, maybe. The rest of the money, should you need more than $700,000, you can take it out of something else, maybe recreation, or maybe you will develop some artificial revenues, which is why I'm really here. What I find most disturbing is the devaluing of the finance department. That move sends a huge message to outside credit and auditing agencies, and our reputation isn't good to start with. We now have another layer of bureaucracy for the finance manager to negotiate. The gatekeeper is the assistant city manager, and I don't have a problem with an assistant city manager. I was a person who actually supported that a year ago. Was it about a year ago?
3 years ago.
Was it 2 years? I was going to say.
Before we were on.
I think it was a year ago.
Oh, really?
It was before the UUT, so we held off. While we should never organize around personalities, we need to recognize that an outside agency will ask what the skill sets are. Remember, we have this bankrupt water fund, and agencies are going to look at this org chart and say, it's going to send up red flags if you have moved your finance down to a lower level. So it shoots off all sorts of messages to your auditing agencies. So I don't think organizations should be built around personalities, and I think we need to recognize that an outside agency will ask us what those skill sets are. First, their hair will be on fire when they see it, and then the second thing they're going to say, well, who's that person? Recreation and human resources are not acceptable answers, from my perspective. This is a situation where people at the top can pressure the finance manager to manipulate numbers to the detriment of the city. The message is, we're about to do something at best inappropriate and at worst illegal. We can guess what one of the actions is because we've heard it repeatedly in here, and that is that our previous finance director did not estimate revenues properly. So one place to start if you're going to fiddle with things is fiddle with the revenues. And that is a disaster and can lead to bankruptcy quickly. We're doing pretty well on our own going into bankruptcy, but you know, doing something else seems outrageous. We had a council member who said he didn't think it was bad if we went bankrupt, so I know that there's an idea out there who, you know, that bankruptcy isn't a bad thing. It seems to me we need some bravery on the council. Opening City Hall is not an emergency. Do not be fooled. The council members on the committee are really cramming their agenda down your throats and dressing it up as a customer service program. It's a cute little costume, but it really doesn't fit well here. And I might add that you ladies seemed pretty angry when they didn't buy into it last week. That was disturbing because this is a huge issue, and we really need to take into consideration what happens when you shove finance down farther. It sends messages in many different directions. So I don't know what you can do about this, but I would hope that you could postpone this reorg for a while to get better clarification and have some time for discussion. Thanks.